Assalamualaikum. Okay. Baru cakap internet. I'm sorry. My internet is not so stable. So just now it was off for a few minutes. I hope lepas ni okay lah. I hope so.
Amin, insyaAllah.
Tidak nanti masalah kita lah. Kena buat 2-3 kali. Okay, so while we continue, right, I'll continue with the example 1.3 where we left on that thing, on the depreciation. So let's go to the example. Now, I ask you to do the example, okay, to try at home. And let us look at that example, and I want you to get a few things, okay? Number one, when you get the y-intercept, the x-intercept, you draw the graph. So you have the graph, okay? And then what we want to do here is, I will just want to look at the slope. How do we interpret the slope? So if you look at the example, the y, okay, the dependent variable is the value of the property in dollars, and the x is time period in months. So we have to relate, okay, we have to relate the slope in terms of the units that is given. So if you look at that example, the slope is equal to -1024. So you know the slope is m equal to -1024, and that is delta y over delta x. And it is a negative value. So if we have, if we have the x increases by 1 unit, okay, if x increases by 1 unit, then the y would go down by 2 units. No, by that unit. Alamak, kita punya connection pun, okay, ada datang balik lah. Penat macam ni. Kimi? Internet tak apa elok eh? Dekat depan tu macam tu kat sama je. Dekat depan. Cuba cek depan tu. Aduh, hai. Datang balik. Dia ada, tak ada. Hello? Okay, dengar balik eh?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I could see the
So you see the screen, eh? Now can you see the screen here?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because it was off. That's why I said my internet today is not very good. So you have the slope equal to 1024, and then how do we interpret that value? So you have a negative sign. That means if x increases by 1 unit, what about y? Y will increase by the amount of the slope. Okay, y will, negative sign means y will decrease. So we can say that, the slope m, the interpretation is negative 1024. Now you have to remember, you have to describe it in terms of the unit. So if time increases by 1 unit, that means 1 month, the unit is month, then the value, okay, the value of the asset, of the property, will reduce or will decrease by how much? Will decrease by $1024. All right, so that's the interpretation. Or you can say the value of the property decreased by 1024 per month, because it's a unit increase in time is 1 month. So you can, normally we will just say also per month. Okay, each month, or for each month, the value of the property increased by 1024. So you can also, in real life, sometimes you don't say time increases. So you can say for each month, okay, for each month, the value of the property will decrease by 1024. Or you can put here per month. So when you say per month, then we will start from here. Okay, we will start from here. The value of the property decreases by 1024 per month. Okay, so that is the slope. Now, what about the intercept? The intercept B is equal to what? Equal to 122,880. Okay, how do we describe the value? That is the value. Okay, the value there is the y-intercept. All right. Now, what does it mean?
When x equals 0.
So you say when x equal to 0. Okay. What is then?
Then the minus.
No, the minus. What is y? Y is what? The value.
Oh, y. The value,
is the value of
property.
B.
Y, when x equal to 0, the value of the asset is equal to what? The value of the property is how much?
122,880.
Is 122,880. Or you can say when x equal to 0, that means when it was bought. Okay, so you can say the buying price or the purchase price, because it is where you bought it. So you can say the purchase price of the asset is 122,880. But if sometimes it's just good that we stick to the concept. Okay, to the concept when x equal to 0, that means initial value, or you can say initial value, because it is when it is bought, so it's initial value. So you can also say the initial value of the property is 122,880, or the purchase price is 1,880. So we are not talking about the price, we're talking about the value. So the value when it was purchased, or you can say the purchase value, not price. Okay, so it's value and price, they may be different. So the purchase value, okay, the purchase value of the property is 122,880, or the initial value of the property is 122,880. Okay, good. Any question? All right, now we look at the x-intercept. Okay, what is the x-intercept? The x-intercept is 120. Okay, x-intercept is equal to 120. So the point is 120, 0. So how do you describe that point or that value, x equal to 120?
The value of the property is 0 when and after 120 months.
So you can say at x equal to 120 months, or or you can say at 120 months, because the unit is months. So at 120 months, the value is what? The value of the property is 0. 0. That means fully depreciated, okay? Fully depreciated at 120 months. So that is the x-intercept, full depreciation, okay? At 120 months, there is no more value to the building, 0, okay? So that's how you interpret the x-intercept, and then you interpret the y-intercept and the slope. Okay, all right, any question about this? All right, now we move on. We look at another example. I want you to go to example number 7 on 1.3. Okay, 1.3 again here, example 7. Okay, I would like you to read that example, the first part, for a few minutes. Okay, can you just read that example for a few minutes? Get the idea of the thing. All right, now you are given the equation. It's already in slope-intercept form. And then you know the y. Okay, what is y? Y is the population of US
bank.
male, okay, not female, just male, in 1,000. All right, so y is the number of US male in 1,000. Now, what is x? I want to focus on the x. So you got y, okay, equal to the definition that you have. Now, x is what? Now, x is the number of years. The number of years after 2,000. Now, the year is 2,000. You don't want the years, okay? You want the number of years after 2,000. So if you look at the year 2015, we don't want the year 2015. You want the number of years, okay? The number of years after 2000, and the year is 2015. So how many years are there? What's the number of years?
15 years.
15 years, okay? So the number of years is 15 years. So we are not talking about the year, okay? The year is only for our reference. We are talking about the number of years after that reference year. So you have to be correct here, or you have to make sure that we are on the right platform. So here, 2000 is the base year, okay? That is 2000 base year, beginning after 2000, year 2000. So that means 2000 is our 0, all right? Because you want the number of years, all right? You don't want the year, okay? You want the number of years past 2000. So if you are talking about 2015, we're not talking about the year 2015. Of course, that is the year 2015. But when you want to find the value of y and the slope and whatever, we are looking at the number of years, which is what? 2015 after 2000. That means how many years? 15 years. And of course, if you're talking about 2041, there will be 41 years. The number of years is 41. So this is the value that you put in the equation. Okay, so this is the x. The x is not the year. Okay, you don't put x as the year 2015 you put in. Okay, that is wrong. You put in what? 15. Okay, is that clear? All right. So for that equation, and after this we will encounter many more examples, that you use year as our reference, but it's not the year, it's the number of years. So we need to put in the number of years past that reference year. So for that example, this is what we're dealing about, the time. So example number 7, I want you to go home and read. The solution is given. So read that example, all right? So this is one homework, just reading, okay? Reading that example number 7. Now, what I would like to do is, we're going to finish up the part on 1.3. We're going to now do find, okay? Find the equation. So now we are going to find the function or the equation of the function, the equation of the function. Or in short, we just find the linear equation. Okay, the linear function or linear equation. Given some information. We want to find the equation of the linear function. Okay, equation of the linear function. Given some information. Now, these are the information given. Number 1, we are given 2 points on the line. Okay, 2 points. In other words, you are given x1, y1, and x2, y2. That's number 1. Now, number 2, another possibility is that you are given a point, we call it x1, y1, and you are given the y-intercept b. Okay. Now for number 2, they can be the other way around. You are given the a point, and you're given b, and then you are given a point. So 2, again 2, we are given a point, and we are given a slope. All right, and then number 3, very simple. You are given the slope, and you are given the intercept. So this one, of course, very trivial. Huh? So now let's find the method. The method on how to get the equation given 2 points. So we start with number 1. Here we are going to do by substitution. There is, of course, there is another method, but I'm going to discuss just a method of substitution. So given the 2 points, say x1, y1, and x2, y2, and we know the linear function is what? Mx plus b. Okay, so what you do, number 1, we find the slope. All right, and then the slope, you know, is equal to what? It's equal to delta y over delta x. That is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So we can find the slope by substitution. By substitution of the 2 points. Okay, of the 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2. You put into here, you get m. Okay, now once you got m, after we have, you got m, after m is determined. Okay, I think that's better word. After m is determined, what do? We have to find b. Okay, you have to find b. How do you find b? All right, this is how you find b, again, by substitution. So after you got the m, then we know m already, all right? So you got y equal to mx plus b. Now suppose this is already known, okay? M is known. So m is already known. So therefore, what you do next is that we substitute again, all right? Either x1, y1, or x2, y2 into the function, okay? Into y to get b, okay? So now we are doing double substitution. Number one, you substitute in order to get the slope. After you have the slope, we substitute again. Y1, x1, or y2, x2, I'm sorry, x2, y2, x1, y1 into the function. And then you get b. Okay? So number one, that is the method. Any question on that? Any question on that one? Okay. All right.
No.
Okay, now for the second possibility, it's much simpler. Okay, for the second possibility, it's a little bit simple. For the number two, you know B already. Okay, we know B. So what you do, you have y equal to mx plus b. All right, we know B already. So what you need is what? You need to find m. Okay, you need to find m. So now how do you find m? We substitute again. The point x1, y1 into y. Okay, so that will become y1 equal to m x1, okay, plus b. So now you will get m. So what is m? So m is equal to y1 minus b. Okay, you bring the b to the other side, and then x1, or then m, I'm sorry, m, equal to y1 minus b divided by x1. So now you got m. All right. Okay. Now, similarly, if we are given the slope, okay, the second possibility for number two is that we know the m. That means you need to find b. So we do the similar substitution. So you have the equation now. You got y equal to mx plus b. Now we know m. Okay, this one is known already. So you need to find b. So what do? We substitute again. That point x1, y1 into y. So what do I get? I get y1 equal to m x1 plus b, and then you can find b. So b equal to whatever. Or again, substitution. All right. Okay. Now for number three, very simple, very straightforward. For number three, you know the m and you know the b. So therefore, we just do direct substitution. All right. So direct substitution, what we get? You get y equal to mx plus b. So this one very trivial. Okay. So let's do by example the cases of number one, and of course each of these possibilities. So we look at an example. Now suppose you are given 2 points. Okay, we're given 2 points. Say 20, 40, and negative 10, negative 35. Okay, suppose we are given these 2 points. Now find the linear function. All right, so what do we do first? Number one, you find the slope. Okay, and you know the slope is equal to what? It's equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So therefore, what we do, you let these 2 points be x1, y1 and x2, y2. So you let the first point x1, y1, and then you let the second point be x2, y2. All right. So you can write down here. You let x1, y1 be equal to the point, and then x2, y2 be equal to that other point. Then you do the substitution. Okay, now go ahead, find the slope. What do you get for the slope?
2.5.
Huh? 2.5.
2.5.
Everybody got 2.5?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you have
Yes.
what? How do you get the slope? You substitute, okay? You substitute, then you will get it. So you have y2, x2, and then y1, x1. So the m is equal to y2 minus y1, okay? y2 is 35 minus 40, all right, y1, divided by negative 10 minus 20, the y1. Is that right? Okay. Okay. So that is equal to negative 75 divided by negative 30. So like you said, berapa dapat tadi? Jadi berapa?
2.5. So
2.5. Okay, 2.5. So that is the slope. Now you know the slope equal to 2.5. You need to find b. Again, you do the another substitution. Okay, to find b, now you got y equal to what? Y equal to 2.5 x plus b, because you already have the m, okay? So you already have the m, then you know this function. So now you got to find b. So what do? You substitute x1, y1, x2, y2. So there are 2 points. So you substitute, you choose, okay? You choose what point you want. All right, so now I want you to do it. For those people who start your name with A to M, okay, you use X1, Y1. And then if your name start with N up to Z, you use X2, Y2. Now get the B. So you substitute X1, Y1 or X2, Y2. You choose, okay? Into the Y, into the equation to find B. Okay, now if you choose X1, Y1, what do you get for the value of B?
Negative 10.
Or if you
Negative
choose
10.
X2, Y2,
77.5.
actually you should get the same value, you know?
Yeah.
You should get the same value. So if you get different value, either, you know, somebody got it wrong. So suppose, you know, work it out again. Now I choose X1, Y1, okay? X1, Y1. Then what do I have? I have 40 equal to 2.5 multiplied by 20 plus B. So B is equal to, berapa dapat ni? Berapa yang dapat? 40 minus 2.5 times 20. 2.5 times 20 berapa dapat? 50. So B is negative 10. So if you use x1, y1, you've got B equal to negative 10. And then if you use x2, y2, you should also get negative 10. Okay, siapa do x2, y2 tu buat balik. Okay, for those people who this name N dengan Z tu, you use x2, y2, what did you get now? You get negative 10 or you don't?
Negative.
Negative 10.
Negative
Okay,
10.
good. We should have negative 10. Okay, if you don't, that means something wrong. I have to try to work it out. Okay, so you choose. Okay, you choose either one. So if you choose x1, y1, easier lah. Sebab dia positive value. Okay, cantik pun 40, 20. If you use the other point, it will be negative 10, negative 35. So for those people who do N to Z, so I'm sorry, you have to do a little bit more careful. Okay, it's not that difficult, but you have to be more careful because you are dealing with negative numbers. Sometimes you got mixed up, with the signs. So you should get negative 10. All right. So either you do x1, y1, or you take x2, y2. We should have same answer. So you can choose either way, either point you like. Okay. All right. Good. So that is first case. Now, case number 2, where you are given the slope. Let's say we know m is equal to, say, negative 12.1. That's the slope. And then you are given a point, say 5, 7. Okay, so that's 1.57. So now what you do, you make use of the m. Okay, so what you get y equal to negative 12.1x plus b. What do you do? To get b, to find b, what do? We substitute. Okay, we substitute that point. So we call that point x1, y1. Okay, equal to 5, 7 into y. Okay, so do it now. What do you get? You get 5, you get 7 equal to negative 12.1 multiplied by 5 plus b, then you get b. So what do you get for b? So work it out. Okay, you got 7 equal to negative 12.1 multiplied by 5 plus b. Okay, I want you to work it out. Okay, I'm not going to do the working. I just want the answer from you. What do you get for b?
I get 67.5.
It shouldn't be negative. It should be positive.
Yeah,
Berapa?
67.5.
67.5. Everybody got 67.5?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's correct. Okay, if somebody else get another number, probably someone is wrong. So that is when you are given the slope, given 1 point. Now we are also can be do this. You are given the intercept b, say 1, 0, 4, and then you are given a point. Okay, say 11.5, 21. Okay, number 210. We are given a point, 210, the y, and then x is 11.5. So we do similar substitution. So what you get over here, what? So you have now what? Y equal to mx plus the b 104. So again here to find m, we do the substitution. Substitute 11.5 to 10. Okay, to 10 into what? Into the y. Okay, now get the y. Get the equation. What do you get? 11.5, 210. Substitute into the thing here, you will get the slope.
9.22.
9.22, everybody got it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So m is equal to 9.22. So your equation will be y equal to 9.22x plus 104. So that's it. Okay, for this one here, okay, I forgot to write the full function. So for the first case here, you got y equal to negative 12.1x plus 67.5. So write the full equation, okay, like what I did here. Okay, so that is possibility number 2. You are given either the slope and 1 point, or you are given 1 point and the y-intercept. Okay, all right. Any question? No, okay, good. So now the number 3, very trivial. You are given the slope. say equal to berapa pula? 0.35. And then you are given the intercept equal to say 48. Okay, so very easy. So y equal to what? Y equal to 0.35x plus 48. So that's it. Okay, number 3 is very trivial. So that's how we can get the equation, okay, given some information. So we are done with 4.3, and I would like you to read, okay, I would like you to read a few things on 4.3. You look at 4.3, there is, oh, dia tak ada kat sini, bukan sini. Yang perpendicular parallel tu kat mana? Bukan dekat 4.3 ke? Ada dekat 1.3. Tak apalah, lain kali kalau kita jumpa. You know, there is a part where they talk about the parallel. So I want you to read the parallel and then the perpendicular. So there's a short part on 1.3 page. If you go by my book, it's on page 78 to 79. So if you have a different edition, maybe a different page lah. But on the parallel, perpendicular. Okay. Okay. Now for 1.3, we're done with 1.3. I give you a few more questions. I give you already some questions. So now what I would like you to do, I would like you to do a few more questions, number 29 up to number 34. So here, given this information, okay, given the information, you find the equation of the function. And also from 35 to 38, again, you are given some information, find the equation. So I think that will do what we are doing today. And then for the application, I would like you to do number 49. That is related to depreciation, which is what we example number 1 was about. Then you do number 50, then 51, 52, and 53. 53. Voila. Okay, so this is application. I think this one may not be necessary. 49 up to 52. Okay, all right. Now, I would like you to do one question. Okay, do it now. I want you to do question number, okay, question number 35. So now question number 35, I want you to do it now. Okay, you are given the 2 points. I want you to find the equation of the linear function. Okay, all right. Can you do it now? Spend about a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, or 2 or 3 minutes. Hello, can you hear me? Internet.
Yes, sir.
My internet was disconnected for a few seconds, so I thought I lose contact already. So do that number 35. So this one, okay, the parallel and perpendicular, I would like you to read. Okay, just read that part. Okay, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody got it? No, if you don't got it yet, I will wait. Okay, we'll wait for you. Let's try, okay? Try to do it according to the method that I just described. So first you find the slope, okay? Find the slope. And then once you have the slope, you find the B, okay? So spend a few minutes, okay? I will wait for you. I'll give you 1 or 2 more minutes. Tu adik siapa tu bunyi tu? Baby siapa tu? I heard that sound. Anak, adik ke anak? Adik kan? Anak saudara?
Adik, sir.
Adik ipar?
Adik.
Adik. Adik nak join kelas ke? Okay, everybody got it? So first you find the slope, all right? So you're given the 2 points there. So first you find the slope, okay? Slope is equal to what? Slope is equal to y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So what you do, you let x1, y1 be equal to one of the points, be equal to, tadi saya suruh buat soalan apa
35.
35. Saya pada lupa lah, 35. Tak nampak 35. 32. And then you let the x2, y2 be equal to the second point, -1, -6. So you want to find the equation, all right? So now you know m is equal to what? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So that's y1, that look like a b. Y1, all right? So you put in the numbers. What do I get? I get -6 minus 2, okay, divided by -1 minus 3. Okay, everybody got that? So that is equal to -8 over -4. So that is equal to 2. Everybody got 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you got 2, which is the slope. So now, okay, the function is y equal to 2x plus b. All right. So next, you want to find that b. So substitute. Write the point. Okay. The first point, second point. Now, what did you do? Did you substitute x1, y1, or did you do x2, y2?
X1, Y1.
So some people do x1, y1, and probably some people do the x2, y2. Okay, or maybe everybody do x1, y1. So we do x2, y2 because most of you do the x1, y1 equal to -1, -6 into y. So what do I have? I have -6 equal to 2 multiplied by -1 plus b. And b is equal to -4. Betul? 4. -1 plus bawa sana jadi plus. Plus -6, 4. -4. Betul? B -4. So our function is y equal to 2x minus 4. So that is our equation. All right. So for your practice, you do a few more questions until you are comfortable with the method. Okay. All right. So that's it for 1.3. We are done. So the last part would be 1.5. Okay. The last part of chapter 1, we will do 1.5 and then 1.6 for the application. Now 1.5 is about system of linear functions, or more general, a system of linear equations. Because sometimes, we may consider linear, not a linear function, just a linear equation. So if you recall, if you have x equal to say 10, okay, this is not a function. Okay, it's not a function. Okay, if you got y equal to something -2, okay, that is a function. So sometimes when you look at the system of linear, sometimes we call it not linear functions. Okay, we just call it system of linear equations. Why? It may include possible a linear equation which is not a function. So we just recognize that. So you have a system of linear functions. Okay, sometimes I call it function, sometimes I call it just equation, okay? Because it may include that kind of equation, which is not a function. Or sometimes, you know, we call it function. It's good. It's okay also. Okay. All right. So when you have a system of linear equations, what do you mean? We have two or more equations. And when you have two or more equations, then what we are interested in is that you want to find the solution or a solution to the system. All right. Now, how do you get the solution? So if you have two or more equations, here simultaneously, simultaneously, means now kita at the same time. Okay, at the same time, you have two or more equations. So when you have this situation, you want to find the solution. Okay, the solution to the system. Now, what is the solution? The solution is the intersection. You want to find the intersection of the equation. Okay, intersection of all, okay, of all equations in the system. So the intersection means the common points. All right, intersection means where the line cuts. It's common. Sometimes we just call it common points. The points that satisfy, okay, that satisfy all equations, okay, at the same time, simultaneously. All equations in the system at the same time. So that is the solution. So graphically, we look like this. Intersection of all the equations in the system. You can call it also the common points. That means the points that satisfy all equations, all right, in the system at the same time. So I put here at the same time. Senang kita. Simultaneously ini susah nak menyebut. At the same time. Okay. Okay. So that is solution. So if you look at the graph, graphically, okay, are you finished here? Oh, not yet. Maybe I go too fast a little bit. Are you done with this page? Are you done? Finished?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good. So intersection, intersection, solution. So now graphically, we look like this. So let's say, okay, before I draw the graph, let's consider a system of two equations, because this is the common system that we encounter in this chapter. Let's say, all right, we consider a system of two, consists of two equations. So y equal to m1x plus b1, say number one. And then you got y equal to m2x plus b2, call it equation number two. Okay. Now graphically, it will look something like this. You got x here, y 0. I draw two functions. 1, 2. Okay, I got 1 and 2. And then you see here, there is a point of intersection. So that is the solution. So I call E, okay, is the intersection. And that is what we call the solution. And here, there is only one point. Okay. One point of intersection. Or you have a unique solution. So you have only one solution, okay? Or we call it unique. Okay, unique solution. And that point is called the E. And correspond to the E, we call it XE. And the value of Y, you call it YE. So there is only one point that satisfies the two equations at the same time. So E, okay, we denote that by XE, YE. So E is the equilibrium. And that, of course, is a point XY. And that is XE, YE. Okay, so that is our solution. So here, there is only one solution. All right. Okay, now next, we just look at the graph. For one solution, okay, one solution, if you look at the graph, what can you say about the graph, the slope? So here, the solution actually is determined by the slope and the intercept. So in other words, if you look at the system, the solution is determined by M1, M2, and also to a certain extent B1, B2. Okay, now if you look at the equation that I have here, what can you say about the slope for the two lines?
One is positive, one is negative.
So here you will see the slope of one line, this one, the line number one, okay, line number one, the slope is negative. And here the slope is positive. Okay, all right. Now what about B? B1 and B2? One is here, the other one is here. So what can you say?
Different.
The B is different, okay? B1 is not equal to B2. Or you can say B1 is bigger than B2, okay? So that is one. Now, can you have, okay? Can you have the slope both positive? That means if M2 here, M2, I call it M2, positive, right? Now, I am asking you now, can M1 also be positive? And you have one solution. Yes or no? I want you to sketch, okay? On your graph, you draw on the same graph, it's okay also, you know? You draw another line, say for the number one, okay? You draw one different than what I have here. The slope is also positive. And then you have only one point of intersection. Can we have that? Okay, I want you to just sketch on your line. Can you get it?
Yes.
Yes, can you get it?
Yes.
Yeah, good. So how do you draw the M1? How do you draw the line number one? Anybody who drew it?
In between of the two intersection.
No, I'm talking about M1, the slope of the M1 relative to M2. How does it relate? How M1 relate to M2? So that you have only one point of intersection. Anybody who has drawn it? What can you say about the slope?
It is steeper.
steeper. Okay, you have one line steeper than the other. So did you draw M1 steeper or M2 steeper?
M1.
If you draw M1 steeper, you will look like this. Okay, so you got M1 bigger than 0, but steeper. Okay, so you will get also the same point. No, not necessarily the same point, 1 point. Okay, so you can draw it here, it's okay. All right, you can draw it somewhere else, that's fine. Okay, but I just draw it there just to indicate that point. But you can draw it somewhere here. Okay, now what about the B?
The B will be negative.
B one negative, one positive, right? So that's possible. Now, that's second case. Now, case number 3. Can we have the slope both negative? So now you relate to number 1. M1 is negative. So now what you do, you sketch a second line with M2, and M2 is also negative, and they will cut at 1 point. That means you have only one solution. Can we have that, or we cannot have it? Can. So what? How did you sketch the line of the other function? M2 relative to M1.
More steeper.
More steeper. Again, the same thing. Okay, you draw another line M2 or another line number 2. You draw it. This one M1. Okay, so you draw another line like this. So you got here line number 2. M1 is less than 0, and you also have that intersection 1 point. So the one, okay, the one slope is steeper than the other. M1 is steeper than M2. All right. So you can have 3 things: one slope negative, one slope positive, both slope positive, and then both slope negative. So what is the general condition on the slope? For you to have one solution. What is the most general condition on the slope? Both can be positive, both can be negative, and both can be both positive, both negative, and one can be positive, one can be negative. So now, what is the general condition on the slope?
Cannot be equal.
So the general condition for the unique solution, we simply need M1 must not be equal to M2. Okay. Now, what about the intercept? Do you need intercept to be different? Because here you have sometimes B1 bigger than B2, sometimes B2 bigger than B1. Okay. So what is the general condition on the B? Must be different. Must B1 and B2 be different. Okay, I want you to draw on the graph again. You draw 2 lines, B1 equal to B2. The intercepts are equal. Now, do you have a unique solution or you don't have a unique solution? So you already draw so many lines, okay? You just draw another line that have the same intercept with the one that we already draw on the graph. Any line, you can choose anything, any line. And don't worry about the slope, okay? The slope can be different sign, or the slope can be just different. Okay, so is there a solution, one solution, or is there not a solution?
There is a solution.
What is the solution?
The point on the intercept.
The solution is the intercept. Is that right? So for here, okay, you have your this line 1, all right? The B1 is here. Now you draw another line with the same B1. You have a B2, which is equal to B1. So you got another line, so call it number 2, same intercept. So that point. So there is only one solution, okay, E, and that solution is the y-intercept. So you don't need any condition on the B, okay? B can be the same, B can be different. The only condition is what? M1 is not equal to M2. So if you have a system, M1 is not equal to M2, you know there is only one solution. Okay? All right. Is there any question about this? Anything?
No.
All right. Now, what about if there is no solution? You cannot find any point of intersection between the two lines. Then how come you have that thing? Okay, if you draw, let's say, relate to line number 2. Okay, line number 2 is here. I already got line number 2. Now you draw line number 1 that will not intersect with number 2. Okay, just sketch it. You don't have to worry about the M, the B. You just sketch one line that will not intersect with number 2. Just sketch. So after that, you do some conclusion about that line. Okay, anybody got it?
Yes.
Okay, how?
M1 equal to M2.
Yeah, you have M1 equal to M2. Okay, if the slopes are equal, all right, that means slope are equal. M1 equal to M2. All right, so that is M1 equal to M2. Now, what about the B? Is there any condition on the B?
There will be no condition.
There will be no condition. Okay, I want you to do this. All right, M1 equal to M2, that is already correct. Okay, so now there are the condition on the B. B1 not equal to B2. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is B1 equal to B2. So I want you to draw 2 lines. Slope are equal. One case is the intercept are not equal. And then you draw again another case, the intercepts are equal. So do you see the difference in the solution or you don't? Okay, not equal to, the B's are not equal. The B1 can be bigger than B2 or B1 less than B2, it doesn't matter. All right. So, and then the other line, you draw it the same, B1 equal to B2. So what happened to what is the difference in the nature of the solution? Or are they the same? Okay, we start with the first case. If B1 is not equal to B2, then how do the lines look like on the graph?
Parallel.
No, they are parallel.
Parallel.
Okay. If B1 is not equal to B2, let's say I draw the blue line here is number 1. Okay. Number 2 is already there. You got the slope already equal. So the line must be parallel. And the B are not the same. So you can say B1 is here, B2 is over there. So the lines are parallel. All right. You can also draw the line number 1 over here. All right. That means the slope are the same, intercept will be lower there. So they are parallel. So if they are parallel, okay, that means the slope are equal, intercepts are not equal, they are parallel. Now, when they are parallel, when you have this condition, what about the solution? There will be no solution.
No solution.
There will be no solution. The line will not intersect. It will go around the earth for a few times until akhirat. They won't intersect. Okay? Because they are parallel. So if the lines are parallel, there will not be any solution. Okay? All right. Now, if B1 is equal to B2, then what happens? You have the slope. You have the slope are equal, and then the intercept are also equal. So what happened to the system?
There is only one line.
It's not only one line. Okay, you have the idea, but it's not one line. What should we say?
It will be intersect.
Intersect. How many intersect is there? Is there one intercept or two intercept?
Intersection point.
Huh?
There will be one intersect point. Is it?
That is one. How come you have one intersect?
Or
Tengok balik.
There will be a lot of intersects, sir. There will be,
There will be a lot of intersection. You got line number 2, okay, which is M2 here, M2, and then you got the B2 here. All right. Now the line number 1 will be equal to M2. B is also equal. So it's not one line. You have two lines with the same equation. So you have another line, B1, also coming here. Okay, M1 equal to M2 and B1 equal to B2. You don't say one line. We say what? You have two equations or two lines with the same what? Equation. So when you have intercepts equal, slopes are equal, you'll see here every point is a solution. So you have infinitely many solutions. Every point is a solution. Okay, you go around the earth, these two lines, the solution will be all the points on the earth. If you extend to the moon, we'll also have so infinitely many solutions. Okay, all right. So you have three possibilities. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1, unique solution, one solution. Number 2, no solution. And then number 3, infinitely many solution. Now, the solution number 2 and number 3, we are not very interested in. Okay, because there are so many solutions, we cannot say anything. If there is no solution, there is nothing that we can do. We only want unique solution, okay? So that at least we can do something. So if you see, okay, if you see the slopes are equal, then either there is no solution or infinitely many solution. That's it, okay? We are not going to continue. We just stop there, okay? Or if you want to continue more, you look at the intercepts. So if the intercepts are not equal, then you say no solution. Intercepts are equal, then there is infinitely many solution. But these cases of 2 and 3, we are not very interested in. What will be our focus will be the position number 1, where M1 not equal to M2. You don't worry about the B, okay? B, don't worry about it, doesn't matter. Equal, not equal, doesn't matter. There will be a unique solution. So here, there will be a unique solution. Now, when you have a unique solution, okay, this is the point of interest. So now, you want to find the solution. So again here, our method is by method of substitution. All right, method of substitution. I'll take a few more minutes, all right, because I want to finish it up. So if you look at the system that we have, go back to the system that I have, equation number 1, equation number 2, yeah, you got y equal to mx plus b1, y equal to m2x plus b2. So you substitute, either you substitute 1 into 2, or you substitute 2 into 1, will be the same thing, okay? So either you substitute 1 into 2 or 2 into 1, doesn't matter. So let us just substitute 2 into 1. So here, substitute 2 into 1. So what do I get? I get m2x plus b equal to m1x plus b1. So now you bring the x to one side, okay? So you got m2. Salah. Okay, m2 minus x, m2x. So now I got m2x minus m1x equal to b1 minus b2. So you factor out the x, I got m1 minus m2, and I'm sorry, m2 minus m1, x equal to b1 minus b2. So what is x? X equal to b1 minus b2. over M2 minus M1. Okay. So that is the method of substitution. That's how you find the x. After you got the x, all right, you find y. Okay. So if you look at this system here, M2, B2, M1, B1, these are the slope and the intercepts. So everything here are constants. Okay, constant. The only variables are what? X and Y. M2, B2, M1, B1, all are constant. So therefore, a constant minus a constant divided by constant minus a constant, what do you get?
0.
No. A constant minus a constant and divided by constant minus a constant. 0 is a possibility, but not necessarily. So you got
Wow.
what? Got a constant. So rather than having all these 4 numbers, you make it into only 1. So call it D. All right. So it's a constant, so call it D, so that you don't have a ratio of 4 constant. Because ratio of 4 constant will be just a constant, so call it D. All right. So that D is XE. What the focus is on the method. Okay. The method, that means how you do substitution. So what you want to do next is that you want to find Y. Okay. So again, we substitute. Okay. Substitute the X equal to XE equal to D into 1 or 2. Doesn't matter. You know, 1, 2, doesn't matter. It's your choice. Okay, we make the choice. You can choose, okay, based on, sometimes when you choose, you just based on which one is a simpler, okay, which one has a simpler equation, you know, involve smaller numbers so that you can easily compute. So, but it doesn't matter. Even it is a more, you know, longer, bigger numbers, you still can do it. So substitute into 1 or 2, say into 2. All right. So now what you have is that you got Y equal to what? M2. Now the X is the value of XE, which is D. So you put in D there. Plus B2. So now you can find the value of Y. So what is Y? Y is M2 times D plus B2. So it's a constant, so call it E. All right, so that is YE. So now you have the equilibrium point or the solution, or I call it equilibrium, equilibrium, E, and that is XE, YE equal to DE. Okay, so we use a method of substitution. So this is a system of linear functions or linear equations. This is 1.4. And I think we are finished with the method. So I will give you a few questions, okay, for you to practice. So 1.5 a system, if you can look at the book to see a few examples. And we will do a few examples. Okay, I have a few more minutes. So example, let's say y equal to negative 5.6x plus 74. And then call it number 1. And then number 2, I got y equal to 3x minus 26. Call it number 2. So you have these two, and then you look at the slope. They are not equal. So there will be one solution, right? So what you do to find, okay, to find the E, okay, equal to XEYE, we do substitution. So number 1, okay, call it number 1, substitute 1 into 2 or 2 into 1, same thing. Then what you have will be negative 5.6x plus 74 equal to 3x minus 26. Okay, finish it up. Get me the x. Okay, dapat dah?
$11.63.
Everybody get 11.63? Okay, so you work this out, you bring the x to the left, the constants to the right. So work it out. We got x, which is equal to xe, that is equal to 11.63. 63. Okay, everybody, anybody else got same number? Okay, if you don't finish, okay, good. So
Yes.
one, okay. So if you have not finished, go home, finish it up. So find y equal to ye. What do you do? Substitute x equal to 11.63 into 1 or 2. Okay, so some people put 1, some people put 2. So again here, if your name start with M, A to M, use number 1. If your name start N up to Z, you use number 2. Okay, do it now. So that we do both. So you should get same answer. Okay. So for this 1.5, I would like you to do a few questions. So 1.5, I give you a few questions. They are, okay, you tengok dulu eh. So number 13 up to number 13 up to number 17. And then cukup lah tu. Okay, cukup lah. So here, don't worry about elimination. All right. Here they say elimination. So here you do substitution. Okay, don't worry about the question. We do substitution later. And then for convenience, for 1 or 2, okay, for 1 or 2 question, you draw the graph. You don't have to draw graph for every question. And when you draw graph, you don't have to draw. You just sketch. Okay, sketch means you know the intercept. All right, you know the intercept, and then you know the slope, positive or negative, and then you just sketch the line. Okay, you don't have to have scale. Okay, we just want to see where the intercept is or where the solution is. Okay, so you sketch. That is the difference between sketching and drawing. Okay, sketching is you need just a rough picture of the line. Okay, so what you need maybe the intercept or just the y-intercept, the constant b. And then if the slope is positive, that means it will go upward. So we just need a general idea of the line. Okay, if you do that substitution, now if you substitute into number 1, what do you get for the b or for ye? Or if you do substitute in number 2, what do you get for y? Anybody? Cepatlah, siapa-siapa dapat betul kira?
8.89.
Hah? Berapa?
8.89.
Okay, 8.89. Ni equation 2 ke equation 1?
2.
2, okay. Anybody else get a different value?
Minus 8.87.
Oh, that is a big difference. If you have a minus sign, that means either one of us will know committed a mistake. Okay, what do you get? Y equal to negative apa ni?
No negative.
What did you get?
8.87.
8.87. Masuk dalam equation 1 ke equation 2?
1.
1. If you put 1, you got 8.87. So if you got a negative, that means if you have a negative, there is a mistake that you committed. So go home, redo. Okay. So if you have not finished, I would like you to finish it up. You see here, you got 8.87, 8.89. The difference is very, very small. Okay, because you substitute into a different equation. You have the decimal points here, so it may be different, but the difference is just maybe the 3rd decimal point or the 4th decimal point, so will not be a very big difference. So like here, 8.89, 8.87. If you round out to 1 decimal point, you will get 8.89. The same thing. Okay. So the difference will be very minor. All right. So I think that's about right. So you got Y about 8.89, or maybe some of you get 8.88, 8.87. So that will be acceptable. So if you have not done it yet, or if you got a wrong number, a negative value, redo it again. Okay. See where you make the mistake. So probably in terms of the sign, you know. So we have to be more careful about the sign. So I give you some questions, all right? And for the weekend, please practice this question. On Monday next week, we are going to look at the application of 1.5. Okay, all right. So if you have any problem with the question here, you can post your problem in the WhatsApp group. If I don't answer, your friend will answer. All right?
Okay.
But eventually, I will answer. Okay. All right. Anything else? Any question? Any comment? Good.
No, sir.
Okay. Good. So, I have only 54 people here. At the beginning, I have about 60, 50, 60. You know, in this class, I have about 61 students. So about 4 or 5 people missing. All right. So 4 or 5 people missing. I want to make sure who are those who missed the class. I don't want people, not the same people missing the class. All right. Because if you have the same people missing many classes, we have a problem. So I will check attendance again and see what happened. Okay. So I'll see you again. Have a nice weekend. Take care of yourself. Do the questions. I'll see you again Monday next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Baru nampak muka seorang-seorang.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Ni siapa ni gelap ni? Dafar ni gelap apa? Tak ada lampu ke? Gambar pada belakang. Alright. I'll see you again.